All praises to the Almighty, sublime, most magical one, the Almighty One, creator of all things and master of the day of judgment. Hallelujah. And to our most beautiful mother, Marihala, much love, honor, and respect, and so much thanksgiving, Mother. Yes, much gratitude for all this wisdom. Shalom, everyone. I am the Hebrew Widow, the Hebrew Rose of Jericho, coming at you with some judgment news. Today we're going to be talking about Florida under judgment. We are at the time of the Great Reset, and we're having some unprecedented things happening. We're having some weather anomalies happening that are, that's disastrous. A lot of natural disasters. Yeah, they used to call it global warming, but I see they've gotten away from that. Yeah, I believe that they know that these are judgments of the Most High. Yeah, before I get started, I just wanted to send my infinite love and light to all of my starseed brothers and sisters out there and allies of the starseed. Yes, the children of the Most High and Marihala. Okay, you guys, so we see where the flash floods hit South Florida. And a few days ago, we did, I said we. When I say we, I mean me and Mother, me and my ascended masters, me and the angels, whoever is downloading to me when I say we, okay? Because really in this 3D dimension, I work alone. All of the work that I'm doing is off of my little telephone, okay? That's how the Most High works, okay? This is phenomenal because He has allowed me to find gods. Yes, gods. Poseidon is an actual god. And he once was in a portal and now he's not in there. Okay? We're at the time of judgment. We're at the time of the Great Reset. And these gods are carrying out the judgment. Poseidon is very real and he has been very, very active. He left his portal somewhere in March of last year. At least that's when I discovered he was gone. Yeah, because I used to visit that area quite a bit on Google Earth. And so now we have all of these water judgments. Since last March, it has been one water judgment after the other. We have the train derailments. We have all of these train derailments spilling all of these toxic chemicals. We have them wanting to send radioactive waste and put it in the Hudson River. You know, they don't have any place to put this stuff. Yeah, they're just trying to put it in another spot so they're contaminated. These are like forever chemicals, that's being unleashed upon the water. Even though it's train derailments, believe me, Poseidon is over all of that. He's making things happen. Yeah, he's making things happen to the waters. Also, we had all of those droughts. We had so many droughts. Yes, and then we had floods, phenomenal floods. And I mean phenomenal because these are unprecedented weather events that's happening globally. Yes, because we are in the time of the Great Reset. This is not the first reset, okay? And neither was Noah's flood. That wasn't the first reset. Yeah, and that's why we have the mud fossils. That's a new phenomena that people are discovering. The Titans, yeah. And so we're at the time of judgment in the Great Reset. Poseidon is very real and judgment is upon the earth. Now, they don't like us talking about these kind of things on social media because they say you're fear-mongering. If that's what you want to call it, so be it. People need to be afraid because we are in the days of judgment. There is going to be a great reset, and we're seeing signs of it all across the world where the Most High is casting judgment, and He marked that most holy place where I found Poseidon. Here is Pegasus. And a little bit later on, when we get into the fire judgments, because not only is Florida under water judgment, yeah, and they got that big old seaweed plume coming at them that smell like rotten eggs. That's going to be 3 feet deep all over the coast. It's 5,500 miles of it heading right for Florida. That's going to ruin the tourist season. Yeah, they already deal with the red tide and all of the dead fish. And so they're under water judgment for real now. Yeah, and hurricanes haven't even hit yet. And so Poseidon is he takes his orders from the Most High, and the Most High is telling him to judge Florida. Why? We're seeing all of these judgments happening across the earth. Yeah, and they're all connected to the Most High's children and Marihala's children, the star seed, which happened to come through the Hebrew Israelite bloodline. And bloodlines are important, white people out there. That's why in Numbers, all the genealogies, in Genesis is some genealogies, in the Minor Prophets is genealogy, in Matthew's is genealogy, because genealogies are important. It's no such thing as race. They made that up. It's nations. And we are the true Hebrew Israelites, whether you want to believe it or not. Now, these judgments are hitting this earth because of how we were treated. Yeah, and so now it's a new attack on Hebrew Israelites, or if you want to call us African American, whatever you prefer, that came over in the Atlantic slave trade. Yeah, this whole earth is being punished for what was done to us. You see, these global leaders and these politicians, they're triggering judgments on people for their actions. We have had some just straight out racist attacks towards us, trying to set us back into Jim Crow, which Jim Crow never died. He just hid. The Mississippi white courts. Mississippi is under judgment. Now we have the Stop Woke Act in Florida. Florida's under judgment. We had the black farmer in Colorado where they were harassing him, and we barely own any farmland. It's only, what did they say? It's like 2 point something million farmers and only 50 some thousand black farmers. And then when we get a little piece of land, we got to be terrorized because they didn't want to get us. They ran us off the lands. And what happened? Farmland is under judgment in the United States of America. Not only is America under judgment, but we see where other continents are under judgment as well. Yeah, so judgment is hitting the entire earth, and it has everything to do with Marihala's children and the Most High's children, the star seed. Yeah, and he spells it out. He knew the whole thing. So did we before we came here. That's why when you read in the Minor Prophets, it talks about the nations and their atrocities against the Hebrew Israelites. And the Most High said, because you did this, I'm going to do this to you. You did this to my children, this is how I'm going to handle you. And he goes about every nation telling them how they went too far with us, how they treated us and despised us while we were in this 3D world, and how he was going to handle it. And that's what we're seeing right now. We completed our 400 years of captivity that he spoke about in Genesis, the 15th chapter. Before Abraham's name was even changed, he hadn't had Isaac or Ishmael, and he was talking about our 400 years of captivity over here in the United States of America, or in the Americas. It's spread all over the place. Yeah, we talked about the Arab slave trade too. Yeah, y'all just took us and you abused us. You did the most. Not only were we supposed to be just indentured servants, under our captivity. No, that wasn't enough. No, you guys made us chattel slaves, which means you owned us like you did a pet. But you know what? Y'all treated us worse than you do your pets.
This is a map from the Department of Agriculture showing us much of the Bay Area is right now in a moderate risk of fire right now.
The Department of Agriculture said that they are at moderate risk of fire, but check this out.
Wendy?
Yeah, well, we have something else to show you tonight, Jameson. Take a look at this map here. All of these dots show active fires in Florida. You can see there are 4 fires ranging in size in the Bay Area. And tonight, our Rebecca Petit is talking to Florida Forest Service leaders who are asking for your help as they tally up nearly 2,000 brush fires just in the past few months.
Almost 2,000 fires in the last few months. Now, I showed you guys where it was downloaded to me. That mother and father and big brother, declared war on them. We've already been in judgment, but they started a great war. And that's somewhere around the same time that the Stop Woke Act was all in the news. Yeah, and Ron DeSantis happened to pass it in Florida. And I told you guys that the Stop Woke Act was a big old magic spell. It don't even make no damn sense. Who would even want a stop woke? Would they want everybody to sleep? You see, the wording ain't even right. Because it was a big old word magic spell against the Hebrew Israelites. Stop Woke Act. He was trying to erase our history, take anything to do with their atrocities and their guilt towards us. He wanted it off the shelves. Anything to make their children feel guilty about what they did to us, he wanted it off the shelf, and he got it off the shelf. He's threatening people with felonies, prison time, those teachers. Yeah, but they gonna rise up too. Yeah, because people are not afraid anymore. They see the debauchery in the governments, and so does the Most High. So when that big old magical spell happened with that Stop Woke Act, against the woke ones, which are the star seed, that was declaring war on us. So we had war coming from different angles against us, and mother and father, especially since we've been going to the courts of the Most High and telling on their asses. Yes. See, they didn't know who they would be dealing with. See, when DeSantis passed the Stop Woke Act in Florida against black people, against the Hebrew Israelite, African American, whatever you want to call us, melanated people, descendants of the Atlantic slave trade. That was a great offense because he wanted to run for president and he was already campaigning for the Stop Woke Act. Just like Doug Emhoff went to the U.S. government, went to Europe and the UN against us. That triggered some judgment. Then he follows up with this great big old word magical spell and tried to muster up energy from their crowd to go against us in this 3D. But they had no idea that at a time like this, after we already finished our captivity, and now we have access to that most holy place where the Most High marked this earth for judgment, and we know who our mother and father and our big brother is, and we made that connection, they're no longer, we don't go attacking them. Not even in the political arena. We're not, and this is defensive, because they're always offending us. And so now we have the opportunity to tell, and the Most High is doing he's avenging. He's avenging his children right now. And the heavenly host is busy. Yes, and there's nothing they can do about it. Now, this summer is supposed to be a scorcher. So Florida is really going to be under judgment this summer. Yeah, because of DeSantis. Yeah, that's working for Hashatan, the enemy of our soul. And then there goes the Mississippi White Court. See, this is obvious. Everything happening right now is spiritual. All of these bills passing in 2023, these racist bills that's a direct offense against us, is triggering their judgment. They offend us with one of these bills. The Most High's host offends them with great tragedies, with destruction. Yeah, that's who's fighting for us white people. So if you're listening in, you know, I already know we're spied on. Like I always say, if you're listening, hey, I would pass this information on before it gets really, really bad. Because every time we get offended, that's what's going to happen in these United States. United States is under judgment. Every time they offend us, the Most High and his host is going to offend them.
It's been a busy year so far in Florida for wildfires. With Central and South Florida being extremely dry, officials say wildfire activity is expected to increase.
Everything was on fire. The wind was blowing hard and the fire was just roaring through the woods.
A wildfire destroyed 200 outbuildings at River Ranch Park in Polk County last week, including Ken Wyatt's trailer.
It looked like a war zone. Propane tanks blowing up left and right.
Wyatt tells me River Ranch has been his home away from home for 23 years. He lost everything in the wildfire.
The biggest part is you lost all your memories, you know. Your kids grew up there, your grandkids grew up there. The structure is always replaceable, you know, but the memories is what you lost.
So we were taken from our country, everything that we had, Solomon's treasures. Just think about that. Our African kings. Think about the wealthiest king was, what was his name? You guys put it in the comment section. Yeah. We're the richest men on earth. What happened to our treasures? So not only did you steal all of our possessions, you stole us. You cruelly put us into chattel slavery. And you enjoyed our blessings. And when chattel slavery ended, you just put us right back into indentured servitude, which is another form of slavery with the systemic racism and the wealth gap. And the mass incarceration of Black people with the 13th Amendment. So I don't really know the white man that just suffered such a calamity, you know, but I can't say sorry for your loss because I know that was a judgment of the Most High. You know, even there's some white people that are law-abiding citizens. You know, they stay within their community. They never cause any trouble, you know, but they're very indifferent to the suffering of the Hebrew Israelites, the African Americans. You guys know now by now. If you don't know, you should know that we are truly the Hebrew Israelites. And those Jews that say they are Jews are not Jews. And we are in the time of Revelation. And in Revelation 3:9, the Most High spells it out. He says, I know who you are. You say you are Jews and are not. That's DNA. They say they are Jews and they are not. He says, and do lie. And so they stole our identity. They set everything up. Listen, this race thing is a big lie. It's a big lie. I must reiterate that. Race is a big deception. It's no such thing as races. It's nations. All through the Bible, even when you look at racial demographics in other countries, other continents, they don't say black, white, Hispanic. They don't say that. You know, they put the actual nationality of the demographics. Race was a big old trick to put the majority in there that were not melanated. That's how you say you're the majority, but you're not. The Most High said that, told Abraham, look at the stars. Can you count them? He says, this is how many offspring you're going to have. And so we have always been the majority. That's why they add everybody to white. White. Italians are white. Irish are white. Scottish are white. Now they have a status of white Hispanic so that they can keep adding to the numbers. So it'll appear it's an illusion. You see, it's magic. Illusion, it's an illusion. It's magic. To make it appear that you have had the majority, but you never were the majority. The Most High's children, the descendants of Abraham and Sarah, has always been the majority on this earth. So from Genesis to Revelation spells out what was going to happen to us, what was going to happen to our enemies, and how we're going to end up. We're going to end up where our enemies are worshiping before our feet. They're going to bow down to us, and they are going to know that the Most High loves us. And then in Genesis, he says that, again, he's going to punish the nations where we served as slaves. And after that, he said that we were going to come out. So we will be leaving, come out. We're going to be leaving to another geographical location. Only it's not on surface earth. We will be going into inner earth. Okay. And I showed you so many videos of discoveries of the 5D worlds of Eden appearing on this earth. If you haven't seen those things, if you're new to my station, just look at the thumbnails. It's all kind of 5D magic appearing on the earth. He also said that we were going to leave with great possession. And the Most High has led me to the great possessions. And this is one of my favorite places where I found mountains. Mountains made of precious stones. Hills made of precious stones. The Sahara sands blew away and they have been uncovered. And that is our great possession. So the US dollar is crashing. This is going to put, first of all, we're not going, we talk about the reparation, and they do owe us, and they will pay us. They're going to pay us. Yeah, they're going to be trying to give us whatever it takes to get these judgments off of them. So they're going to end up recognizing that they're under judgment. They're going to pay us. But we have some treasures in heaven that is unmatchable. I claim my own hill, and it's worth the wealth of the world. So their little reparation is just going to be, that's just going to be little crumbs. Just little crumbs. Yeah, but they're going to have to pay. They're going to do anything, just like when we left Egypt. They were like, just take whatever you want. Just get out of here. Yeah, that's the attitude that they're going to be having. Yeah. And so you see, we are very wealthy people. This is the Hebrew Rose, the Jericho Hill. This is the hill that I asked the Most High for, and I claim it as my own treasure in heaven. Yeah, the treasures of heaven are real. Look at this. You guys are looking at hills, great hills made of precious stones. And you can see where the Sahara sands are blowing off of the hills. And let me tell you, this goes on and on and on. I remember I was like, oh, I shouldn't conclude the coordinates. They're going to try to steal it. And the Most High just laughed at me. And, I could hear him laughing, like giggling at me and showing me the protection around it. These treasures are very protected. You guys, you should go and check out the area. You'll see spirits and angels and all kind of creatures around in this area. Yeah, so it's very well protected. About a year ago, China was trying to smuggle one of these precious boulders out. They covered it all with mud and they put it in a shipping container, and they were trying to smuggle it out, and they got busted on it. And I guess they paid off the official there that let them take it for quote unquote testing. And when they took that treasure away from our heavenly treasures, yeah, honey, China got hit with all kind of disasters. And the Ever Given was stuck at the Suez Canal during this time. It's like the Most High turned that big old ship full of, it's like one of the biggest ones to go through the Suez Canal, and they said that winds blew it. Give me a damn break. Winds would have to be so strong to push that. I had calculated just how many hundreds of millions of pounds it was, and the other ships were still sitting in the canal. Oh no, that's not what happened. The Most High had that ship turned sideways and caused the shipping industry to get so far behind. We still haven't caught up for when the Ever Given got stuck. And China got hit with all kind of disasters after that for trying to put their hands on our heavenly treasures. Yeah, so it's waiting for us, y'all. It's waiting for us. We're going to be rich. We're going to be rich. We are kings and queens. We are the children of the Most High and Marihala, and they have all this saved up for us. Yeah, they saved all of this up for their children. Yeah, hallelujah. And so where our enemies are under judgment, we have all of this to look forward to. Hallelujah. We'll be getting out of here soon while the earth is being cleansed. And while the grand finales of this judgment is going on, we'll be very protected in inner earth. Yeah, being re-educated. All of us are going to know the laws of the universe. Right now, we just have the laws, statutes, and commandments to help us to get through the days of our probation as guidance. But we will be learning the laws of the universe when we go to be re-educated. And when we come out, this earth will be cleansed. Judah will rule. Yeah, the Atlanteans will reclaim the Americas. And everything is just going to be magical. So we're moving from the 3D world to the 5D world. Yes, hallelujah. Okay, you guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for your surprises, your gifts of love. They're really appreciated. May the Most High bless you 100-fold. Abracadabra. Okay, you guys, your big sister, the Hebrew Widow, the Hebrew Rose of Jericho out. Until the next magical show, Shalom.